Welcome to the Secure AI podcast of Wodan AI. And this time I'm especially honored to have an amazing guest on our podcast. A guest who is a author of a renowned book by now, AI Beyond the Hype. He's writing his second book. He has a wealth of experience in various industries and is a keynote speaker on AI. And that means he's the perfect guest for our show. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Bob, and thanks for inviting me. I'd love to talk with you.
Great. Well, that's why we're here. So let's dive straight in on this beautiful day. So, Jackie, you've been described as a visionary leader in AI and data. Can you share your journey, how you got to this point and why you're focusing on AI and on human-centric AI?
A visionary leader, that's too much honor. But yeah, thank you. My journey, it started, well, let's say with a bit of curiosity about how technology can amplify our human potential. So that's the things that I'm looking for. And early on, I saw a lot of things happening at the industry. But yeah, as you know, in a lot of these projects, there are also barriers, whether it's technical complexity, trust issues, security for sure. But there's also the fear of automation replacing tools. And certainly at AI, that's one of the things that you hear a lot. And that fueled my mission to demystify AI. I'm in the business for, I think, about 12, 13 years already, being big data and AI. And I see AI more as kind of a tool for empowerment and not replacement. So human-centered AI, as you mentioned it's for me designing a system that enhances human decision-making, making it more transparent, respect ethical boundaries. And that's why my book, AI Beyond the Hype, is kind of, well, let's say, part of my mission to create a future where technology supports human values. So well, that was the whole idea. And it sounded simple, but I have to admit that it's kind of an ambitious vision that I'm trying to bring to the market. But yeah, I'd like to do it. I'd like to experiment with it. I'd like to talk about it.
And which misconceptions do you feel still exist about AI?
Well, it's a tough question, but I wrote a book. To cut through the noise surrounding AI. So much of the discussions, the things about AI is either overly technical or too sensational. I hear things like AI will solve everything, or on the other side, AI will take over the world. And the truth, to be honest, I think it lies somewhere in between. A persistent misconception is that AI is some kind of magic box. You put data in it and the answers will come out. And in reality, AI is only as good as the data and the people who will train it. It requires strategic thought, ethical considerations, and what many people don't realize is that these AI systems, they are not intelligent at all. Yes, are intelligent as they are trained by the humans who are training them. And maybe indeed, certainly in neural networks, the extent in pattern recognition, it's things that even before the Gen AI hype, we were doing a lot. But yeah, that kind of data processing and pattern recognition, it lacks context, intuition, common sense. And that's why I think human involvement, human-centered AI, like you talked about it is crucial. Not only during the training or the development, but also afterwards when you are using, for instance, some kind of generative AI tools. I think human involvement stays very important. And one of the other things that I wanted to address in the book was that fear that AI could replace jobs and overshadow human capabilities. The narrative should be one of augmentation, not replacement.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and look, AGI, we're far from that, although some voices have a different opinion on it. And like you rightfully say, it comes down to the quality of the data. And in that sense, AI is an extension of what big data used to be in a decade ago, but now with use cases that are bringing business value.
Indeed, indeed. And the narrative should really shift from these extremes to a more balanced and practical perspective
Correct. Yeah.
with leaders and even people like you and me, technologists. Uh, yeah, we should focus on these real world applications that make our life better.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe less known, Bob, is the subtitle of my book. I don't know whether you remember it, but it is in Dutch. We say alles waar we omgeven beter maken. So translated, it sounds like making everything we care about better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my goal, to be to have a thoughtful adoption of AI as a technology where innovation, human ethics, it goes hand in hand, creating a technology that truly reflects our shared human values.
Yeah, totally agree. And with the making things better, there's another side of IT, which is the attack side. So many executives are worried about the security of their new AI platforms and their AI tools. And for like non-technical executives, what should be their first steps towards securing AI systems?
Yeah, goh, I'm not a security expert,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd like the introduction, where you talk about non-technical people and what should they worry about in security and AI, and certainly indeed what how AI also threatens security. I think first of all, and that's with all AI things, you need to have a clear understanding, clear awareness on AI, huh? And then you really have to know that security, it's a combination of technical and governance. It's on both that you will have the challenge. And for instance, when you talk about protecting the algorithms, for instance, in your company, um, well, it's also for me in my teams. I'd like to establish also a culture of security in my team, and that well, that's a lot of things. You have to know all the AI, IT assets where you work with, how secure they are, what you can do with it. It's about these DPIs, these risk assessments, all the things that we do on AI. It's about implementing controls, education, training. I can go on.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think for hours. It's a lot of things that are non-technical also that you need to implement to be sure that on security you're doing the right things.
Is that where you could actually say it becomes? You should also focus on a human-centered cybersecurity, like just like AI for good purposes, and AI everywhere to enhance what we are doing to bring it to the next level. Having a human-centered security awareness is also important, so that everyone and the entire organization have that in their veins.
Yeah, and well, indeed, even if you are doing the best pen testing and you have red teams and you're continuously monitoring all these systems, if the I think the most important threat on security is the insight. If your own people don't have the necessary education and training or you don't know what is this AI Act all about and why is there GDPR? Well, yeah, then that's even more a threat to the organization than all the external security threats that are there. Yeah.
Very correct. Yeah. Yeah. And apart from threats, so you also mentioned AI is a lot about either hype stories or the very technical jargon. But as a business leader, being overwhelmed by all these and hypes and jargon, how can you make an informed decision where to even start your journey in AI?
Well, I for sure it all starts with knowing what it's all about, and then looking for for the right way to adopt AI, to adopt these tools in your organization. So, as a business leader, you certainly need to go beyond this hype and indeed the two AI can solve everything or AI is a threat to our business. You have to go beyond and look for this way in the middle. So it's balancing innovation with security.
Yeah. And just using Copilot is not innovation.
No.
Yeah.
No. Without going into depth on all these Gen AI stuff, um, to be honest, what I see is the use of Gen AI in companies, use of Copilot, use of ChatGPT, whatever tool that you're using. At this point in time, you really see that's only the start of the journey because people are using it for what I call personal productivity. And we need to go a bit further. You need to take a look on how can I use this AI or generative AI to optimize my processes, to improve the customer experience. There's a lot of things where you see that we are only starting. It's a bit like marketing at the moment the internet came up. They they know how to write articles for these papers, physical devices, and suddenly a new term like SEO popped up.
Oh, yeah.
And we were expecting that from marketeers. And yeah, they have to find their way around. And that's a bit what is happening now with, for instance, generative AI, the co-pilots. People are just discovering what is possible, using it for generation of text or images or whatever. But yeah, certainly when you are a bit of a technical person, you know that you can use it for code generation, for optimizing your SQL statements, for a lot of other things. And also on the non-technical side, there's a lot of possibilities that you will have with these generative AI tools, and we're just finding our way around now.
It's business process automation, but at scale. If you
Yeah,
do it right.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And there we're only at the start.
Yeah, we are definitely. Well, where we are also only at the start is, to some people's opinion, is in Europe compared to where other regions worldwide are. So there's obviously a big push from the US with a lot of technology coming from the big tech players. And now Asia, with China, DeepSeek is ramping up. Where's Europe in this entire space? Are we lagging?
Uh, yes, for sure, we are. And on the other hand, I'd like to be more optimistic. Certainly, the Paris summit is now a few weeks behind us. Um, the shift that I saw there makes me more optimistic on Europe as well. Um, I'm also talking to some companies here in Belgium where I see that their investment or upcoming investments on AI data centers, supercomputers, even there in Belgium. I see some talks about it, so that makes me more optimistic. And for sure, I think we can have a very good position in Europe. If you go to the East, we all know it's more about society, community, responsibility that the government is taking about regulations going very far. When you go more to the West, we see this hard shift to the individual at this point in time. And there, Europe is really a bit in between, but you have to market this in between. We are the ones who can balance AI systems between where you need it as an individual and can use it as an individual, or where you meet some societal goals. We have our ESG regulation. There's a lot of things that we can do with AI that really marks this is European AI. And we are not advocating that. We are certainly not that good at PR of that. So
Never
I
been.
think
Yeah.
no, yeah, indeed. So yeah, really, I think there's a lot of possibilities for Europe.
Yeah, and I can only echo that. Like, there's a couple key topics in Europe that are less of a concern in other regions, and one of those is privacy. Like, we Europeans, we tend to care about our privacy,
Hmm.
and I think, without going into politics, but I think the worldwide situation is proving that privacy should be human right. And applying this to AI is like, okay, wait a bit, where's my privacy? And I think Europe has a big role to play in that space.
Mm. Yeah, or even there, early experimentation. Like I said in the introduction, I started in 2010 with big data and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And even at these early experiments, um, the importance of ethics, privacy, human side of technology. When you look back, then it's well, it really marks what Europe should do about it, and not going too far in this privacy issue. Have some regulation around it is good, but yeah, you really see on us searching for this balance between. How to use, for instance, health records of a person, which should be in the privacy sphere, but you can do a lot of things to improve your health. Uh, and there, current laws almost forbid us to do things about the health of an individual. And I don't think that's the way to take a look at it. It should be human-centered. It should take care about privacy, but there should be also good balance towards innovation. And yeah, we really are looking for a way into it.
Yeah, very true, very true. What mindsets, skill sets do leaders have to adopt, or do they have them already to actually come to that? Because business transformation is not an easy topic.
No, no, indeed, and certainly taking a look at at the transformation or even at the core processes, and knowing where to use AI, where not, where what the difference is with regular automation, is certainly one of the things where we should spend some time on and educate leaders on. Um, there's also I another blend, although I think it should be there already. I think we need to stress three key skills. Um, Critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's stressed a lot when you use AI tools. Please, uh, I keep your own critical thinking. Evaluate AI output, AI solutions, not only on their potential but also on their limitations, on their hallucinations. Although it's getting better and better, to be honest. But yeah, you really read these articles. Where you even see lawyers uh, just using the output, not have this critical thinking, and then these AI tools referring to even court cases that didn't exist.
Hmm.
So it's a bit strange to see this. The second skill, um, which I'd like to stress, is this ethical awareness. You have to be aware, and you know, there's even a graph on left and right thinking of AI systems. Um, but there, you have to understand when you use these tools, the societal impact of AI decisions. especially around privacy, which we already talked about, but also on bias, and also how transparent are decisions taken by AI systems. And I'm not, as you know, I'm a tech optimist, so I advocate the use of these systems, but please have some kind of ethical screening, ethical awareness. And the third, but I think it should be certainly for companies who are busy with transformation, digital transformation. The third skill that leaders really need is agility. Be open to experiment with these technologies, while for sure maintaining focus on core business values. And if there's one advice that I can give, although you should start small, um, I think it's also important that you start using AI in the core of your business. When we say alles waar we omgeven beter maken, it's also, if you started a company, you started probably from your passion, from your heart. So don't use AI in the periphery of your company. For instance, an AI chatbot for HR, which is nice. But start also using it on the core, because there, my belief is that there you can really find the growth and the power of AI. And this growth mindset for leaders, I think it's essential. The AI landscape, it's evolving rapidly, and leaders, they must stay curious and continuously learn, and they should make forward-thinking decisions on the core
Yeah.
of their business.
I like that idea because I've seen in digital transformation projects all over the place that it stays in the lab, it stays in an innovation lab, and then it cannot scale into the production environment.
Indeed,
So,
yeah.
and actually, to amplify what you're saying, if you don't use AI to support your mission statement, think twice.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why the subtitle of the book is also there.
Correct. Good.
Meet
That's a nice
AI in the
connection.
core.
Yeah. Cool. Well, speaking about book, you're working on your second book, aren't you?
Yes, which is more on, I'm elaborating a bit on human strengths, or human capabilities, where it is my belief that the AI will never have them, never say never, they say, but never have them, how do you say it, in an intrinsic, in internal way. For instance, curiosity. An AI system will never be curious from itself. You can train it to ask you questions, to try to investigate. But yeah, for sure, it will sit down. It's trained by human beings. It will not be curious from itself. And the second part of the book is that we should stop fighting some of the strengths AI systems already have, where they already surpassed our knowledge, our skills. And the third part is, and what should happen if we would combine these two, the strengths or the capabilities that human beings have, and which will never be part of an AI system, and the strengths that AI have. And if you combine them, what can we solve then?
I actually relate personally very well to that statement because as a musician, I'm getting a bit nervous sometimes when I hear AI created music. Not nervous in the fact that I think it will overtake the music industry. Well, maybe the industry, but not the creativity. So
Mhm.
human creativity, curiosity, creativity, or indeed human skills that we have not seen in AI so far.
Yeah, yeah, but and also to be honest, I really like this music way of looking to things. But in music, you have jazz,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the classic orchestra, which is using a partiture to play, which is very good in doing that. And in jazz, you have these improvisations. So you should not have any fear on AI, because will it be the jazz of technology, or will it be the orchestra of technology, or something in between? And there, we really, as human beings, I think we are the jazz of music. We
We
will
are.
we will keep the creativity, a nose for innovation, even on music, on living together, even with AI music. I think it opens new ways on using. The synthesizer was probably a threat at
It
some
was.
time in music, and now it's power
It's
for
a
some.
beautiful instrument that you
Voila.
can use for its benefit. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I like your statement. We humans are the jazz players that AI can never be. As a saxophonist, I can relate to that.
Voila.
Great, perfect. Yeah, wow. So looking into the future, like, okay, we now just touched on like creativity and maybe musical developments. But what are the fields that you have the biggest hopes for in AI? What are the things that you think are very interesting from a development point of view?
Goh, also a tough question. I'm excited about the potential of these AI-driven tools, even in your own business. On cybersecurity, a lot of things will happen. Um, my dream would be that one of the things that are a threat now, caused by AI, question mark, disinformation. And I think we should use AI to have powerful solutions to combat disinformation, which is one of the biggest challenges we have today. Generative AI makes it easier to create convincing fake content, whether it's deepfake video, used also in a lot of security threats, or even these AI-generated news articles where a journalist is not taking the time to have a critical look at it. I envision AI systems that will really detect manipulated media, certainly combination with quantum and other technologies. I think will make it possible, to fight these kind of things.
Yeah.
And then, we touched personal productivity, we touched process improvements, but even using AI to have more customer-centric systems is near future, to make it more hyper-personalized. The apps that you're using, the websites that you're using, the tools that you're using, that they are more tailored for you. Uh, but I'm looking forward to the really big innovations that will happen with this technology, where we don't know yet what is happening.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. We are only scratching the surface. I'm
Indeed,
looking
yeah.
forward to those hyper personalized AI agents that can help me in anything with respect of my privacy,
Yeah,
and
indeed,
that's a
yeah.
big concern for me. Cool. Well, time's flying. We're almost at the end of this conversation. If you would have like a final message to business leaders who are hesitant to embrace AI.
Well, the thing that I'm always saying is AI, it doesn't have to be a massive, intimidating project in your organization. You can start with small, well-defined problems, opportunities, hopefully in the core, perhaps automating simple core processing, enhancing customer insights, doing some predictive analysis. Measure the impact there, learn from the experience and scale from there. And the key to me is really to build a culture of learning, experimentation. So you should think big in terms of the vision in your core, huh? How AI could transform this industry, but you should take manageable strategic steps to get there. So remember, the most successful AI initiatives often starts with curiosity and a willingness to explore.
I like that idea. How do you eat an elephant? Bit by bit.
Indeed.
Great.
But the elephant should be there.
Yeah, it is. It is. No, but the elephant is there. So the opportunity is there indeed. So experimentation is how we learn, and a continuous learning environment is key to evolving in this landscape. Yeah,
Indeed,
I
yeah.
cannot agree more. Well, Jackie, it was an honor having you on this podcast. You brought a ton of insightful information and ideas, and I think let's go all out and enhance our core with AI from here.
My pleasure. Thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you. Bye.